Morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to hear me share my story on what it's like to live with a mental illness. My name is Jude Swanson. I'm a peer support worker at the Kids Milano Fairview Mental Health Team. On February 1st, 1996,
Okay. Another bad dream?
I'm alright. Go back to sleep.
Try to get some sleep, okay? Hey, babe? You okay? Jude, come on, get a move on. Hurry up. I need to use the bathroom now. You know how important today is. You remember Mrs. Palmer? The woman you spilt your drink on? She's been promoted. We're throwing her a surprise party to celebrate. So they're gonna need me at the office early. Jude, you're gonna be late. What do you mean it doesn't matter? Why didn't you tell me?
It's not work. I don't know how to put this. What I'm trying to say is, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I see no reason in going on.
What do you mean? Jude. I love you. How about later after dinner we go for a walk and talk about it? Right now, we gotta go. I'm late, and so are you.
I worked as a psychiatrist mostly in hospital settings, both with adults and with adolescents for about 35 years. And I did that because I felt that within the field of medicine, psychiatry was probably the more abstract and the more humane specialty, and that you had the option to take care, to listen and to work with people and not have to rush. However, and that's the kind of thing that attracted to me 30 years ago. But unfortunately, over the 30 years, it seemed like I was continuously followed by this wave of economical constraint and cuts and so on, which kind of kept pushing the field in a certain direction. And at the same time, there was also a change in our society and our culture towards this more corporational business kind of model. But about, I guess in 2002, there was an incident in which for the first time in all these years, I was essentially censored. I guess again, I went on the radio, as I had done many times, just mentioning some cutbacks, and I was then told that I was called in to say that what I'd said was embarrassing to the government.
Oh, the guy finally shows up. Get over here. Sit down. What is wrong with you? Your job performance the last couple of months has been dismal.
I don't know. Don't know.
Jude, I had such high hopes for you. You were the poster boy, the golden child. You're being groomed to take my position when I retired. What the hell happened to you?
I don't really know. Nothing seems to matter. It's all meaningless. I don't know. Everything is like I'm like it's speeding past me. They're moving at 100 miles an hour and I'm motionless. You know, I'm not moving.
What are you trying to say? You're not making any sense. What do you mean 100 miles an hour?
Like, you know, I'm in slow motion and the rest of the world is in fast forward. The world doesn't fit me.
I don't understand. You're being irrational. Jude, you used to be so reliable, so responsible. You had drive and you had motivation. I used to look at you and see a younger version of me. But now I'm just worried about your emotional health.
Look, Mr. Crothers, I've been trying. The quotas you set for our department are unrealistic.
It's not about your department. It's about your mental health, your state of mind.
What do you mean mental? Crazy? Is that what you think I am? A nutcase?
Calm down. There's no reason to get upset. I was just worried about your state of mind.
Who the hell do you think you are? You can take this job and shove it. I'm out of here.
Jude.
I think that I think the majority of people who struggle with mental illness are gainfully employed and are working and have families and and so on. So there's no doubt about it. I'm not like, I would say I wasn't even going to do it, but I am doing it. And as we know, there are a number of people who in our society end up in leadership positions or the arts that are openly struggling with issues around mental illness.
on, Jude. Jude. Come on.
Okay. There's something I have to tell you, Gail.
What?
Quit my job 2 weeks ago.
You what? You lost your mind? What are you thinking?
I'm sorry.
Please
Gail,
tell me that's not true.
I'm so sorry.
I am so disappointed. Tried so hard to make sense of your attitude, your lack of responsibility. But what about us? Did you ever think about me? No, you just quit. Jude.
I'm sorry. Gail, I'm sorry.
I don't understand you. Tried so hard to make sense of your attitude. You're so irresponsible. I don't know, Jude. Did you even think about us? Did you think about me at all? I'm so disappointed in you. There's just so much of this that I can take.
Available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, Jude. Hey, Jude. It's Mark. Are you there? We're worried about you. We haven't heard from you since your breakup with Gail. Are you okay? Give us a call, buddy. Let us know if you're all right. Take care. Bye.
So you knew Jude?
Jude Swanson? Yeah, I knew him. A miracle, you know, a real miracle.
Miracle? What do you mean a miracle? You talking about God? Oh, angels, that kind of supernatural stuff.
Anyone's guess. We know it could be anything. But an engineering physicist would probably say it all depends on the weight of his body, angle of trajectory, impact point, and kinetic energy generated by the speeding train.
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm trying to explain to you the possible reasons why Jude didn't die.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, these evolutionists with their Darwinian worldview, they could postulate and theorize if they had accurate data, a plausible reason why, but they only deal in the material world, the effects. Just think, a little nudge in any direction would cause a different outcome. A gust of wind, or even a supernatural intervention. They never address nor consider the first cause.
First cause?
Yes, they theorize all effects are strictly caused by natural processes.
Michelle, what the hell are you talking about? Cause? First cause? Man, there is no cause. No need to understand any effect, okay? It was just a fluke. The guy failed. He was a failure. He even failed at death. The wrong place at the wrong time. That's all.
You don't get it, do you?
What's to get?
Consider this. It's supernatural. I'm sure there was some sort of intervention. Something unseen. Something unexplainable. Let's just call it God. You know, Jude was so methodical in working out the details on how he was going to carry out his suicide. He spent months planning and making sure he visited with all his family and friends before he took that final leap. He scouted out locations. He was reported acting suspiciously.
Where are you? Talk to me.
I'm scared. I'm on a journey. I don't. Yo, I'm so sorry. Sorry.
You have to tell me what's wrong.
I left messages on his answering machine, but he never called me back. I hadn't seen him in 2 or 3 months. When I did see him last, he was so distant.
Distant?
Yeah, I mean, it was like he was there in body, but mentally somewhere else. He looked totally lost. If only he'd recognized there was more of a problem, I might have been able to help. Really did worry about him. You never know what someone's going to do in that state of mind.
Okay.
This was supposed to be my last moments, but since they weren't, I look at it as being the place where my life began again. I got my body in front of this big train. I don't know how I did it. The bottom line is like with both of them, it's one thing to say I'm thinking about killing myself, but when you actually do, suddenly you get treated with a lot more respect and your words, and that's one of the things that people are trying to change, because it's it may be something that gets said and doesn't get backed up on, but still the times that it gets said and it isn't respected is far more expensive in terms of even financial costs. It would have been so much cheaper to give me the help and support I needed when I needed it.
Hey, my rates have gone up. Inflation. Same time next week, baby.
You bet.
Amber, is that you? Amber, wait!
You're hurting me, you pig! Get your grubby hands off me!
At it again? Why don't you just get married?
Oh, Jude, baby, can you help a girl out? There's an animal!
Shut up!
You shut up!
Shut up! You rent slave! You haven't paid in weeks!
Come on, you know I'm good for it. We can figure something out. Anything you want. Jude, baby!
Leave him alone. Jude, when you're finished, get back to me. We need to talk.
With medicine and Western societies being practiced, it's really just always running after the Band-Aid solutions to what are obvious problems. Anyone who's going to be watching this will know that if you live in a place that's unhealthy, where you don't have your basic needs are not met, be it cleanliness, be it food, be it security, you're not going to be, and if you do that for a long period of time, you're going to be unwell. I mean, it's common sense. And if your children are in that place, and if and then their children in their place, eventually it becomes even more complex and more ingrained in your way of thinking. So housing is one of the critical parts of that, and we've known for a long time, I mean, the World Health Organization has known for a long time that if you want to decrease mental illness or improve the health of a community, you have to address poverty, you have to address education, and you have to address family dysfunction. And if you do that, then over a period of time, and it may take 10 years or so, or a generation, you will decrease the incidence of issues around mental health. But that's not, in our model, in our culture, that's not very attractive as a goal for politicians to really target. Because if you do that, you'll have less money for the other side, the Band-Aid solutions.
Have a seat.
No thanks, I'll stand. My leg.
I've talked to my boss about your situation and condition, and we both agree that you need to get relocated. Here is not helping. So I've set up an interview at a subsidized building just up the street.
Thank you so much. Will I have my own bathroom?
Yeah. And kitchen.
You know, I still had open wounds that were leaking from my suicide, like my skin grafts on my legs were still leaking sometimes, you know, especially with changes in weather and stuff. They weren't fully healed. So the person who worked at Lookout at the hotel realized that this guy needs his own bathroom. So they really make sure. And so I managed Lookout Emergency Aid Society here at Jim Green. The Jim Green residents, they gave me an apartment, and I've claimed ownership of that apartment and used it to as a foundation to try and rebuild my life. Yeah.
This is the Jim Green residence, Jude's home and home for 67 other people who were formerly homeless.
Do you feel comfortable me calling you Jude?
No, no problem.
We are informed of your poor physical condition and the pain you've been suffering. Our organization is in a position to help with support. It says here you've been released from the hospital over a year ago and have been in that hotel since that time?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, I think.
It also says your skin grafts have not fully healed. That is understandable. Sharing a bathroom, a shower. I can't even imagine what it would be like. Being in an SRO is...
A what?
An SRO, a single room occupancy. There are many around in this area.
Oh, so that's what you call it. Single room occupancy. SRO. Well, that might be what you call it, but I would call it an RIH.
RIH meaning?
Room in hell.
So before we continue any further, why don't we just pop upstairs and have a look at a possible home for you?
Sounds good.
I first met Jude when he came through our emergency shelter quite a few years ago, and Jude was somebody who was very much in a stage of self-hatred, I would say, at the time. I was really pleased to re-meet him when he was successfully housed here at the Jim Green residence. Jude is somebody who grew to be an incredible advocate for people who had mental health issues and people who were very vulnerable. And I think that's the bond that kept Jude and I together. Jude was very much an advocate. He went out and he did a lot of work for the health authority, speaking on behalf of people who are mentally ill and the need for housing, appropriate, supportive, and affordable housing for people that were mentally ill, but not necessarily living with your doctors. And that is certainly a principle that I hold strongly and dearly to my heart.
Your timing is great. The apartment I'm about to show you has just come available. It is occupied at the moment, but will be available at the end of the month. The tenant granted us permission, so no need to worry. Looks like a great view.
Yeah. Mountain view.
There we go.
Wow. I don't believe it. My own kitchen. And it works. Wow. This is great. Nothing's broken. This is wonderful. My own bathroom. So clean. Look how clean it is. And my own toilet. And bathtub. And a shower.
Yes. Yes.
This place is like a palace. You should see where I live now. Thank you.
Well, I take it you like it? Let's go down to the office and get you to fill out the papers and get you into a new home.
I have ownership in so many of the things in my life. I own the fact that I tried to kill myself. I own the fact that I'm trying to rebuild my life. I own the fact that I'd like to try and contribute as much as I can as a citizen. So I want to contribute as a citizen to this society. But at the same time, I'm not ashamed to admit that I need some help and support from good people who have skills that I don't to help me try and rebuild.
Jude? Yeah, come on in.
Well, Bob, it's nice to meet you, and I look forward to working together with you.
It's nice to meet you, Jude, but I think I'm going to be wasting your time. You see, I'm never going to amount to nothing.
Well, you mentioned on the phone that you feel nervous when you go downtown, and that you feel anxious when in busy places, and that you don't like to meet strangers.
Yes, that is all true, but how can you help?
It's all about it being a process. We'll explore it in small steps. The key is for us to find a way that works for you so you can accomplish the things that you want in your life.
Okay, let's do it.
They took one look at me when I went into the rehab department at my local community mental health team. They knew I needed some volunteering, and they said, this guy could help us teach some people how to use computers and use the internet. Yeah. And so that's what I started doing, and they liked how I did that. Like I think I've told you the story before. I used to sit on my hands because it's literally I wanted to jump up and do everything for them. Yeah. And they realized immediately, wait a second, here's a guy who's trying to teach by having them do stuff rather than showing them stuff, helping support them through rather than doing for, and that's such a big difference. So how are you feeling?
I'm alright. You being here makes me feel less anxious.
Maybe in a week or so we could try going to a busier grocery store.
So this is what you mean by breaking goals down into small steps?
Exactly, Bob.
Okay, let's do it.
I feel like I'm like a forest guide. I'm helping people navigate the forest, and if they actually want to take the path that ends up with them working a 50-hour-a-week job and going to school or whatever, I'll take them there. But I'm going to leave them at the edge of the forest and say, go for it.
I can do this.
Next week we can try going to a busier store.
So this is what you mean by breaking goals down into small steps?
Exactly, Bob. Very perceptive. Today this store, next week the supermarket.
I can do this.
I would really encourage people to take ownership of their recovery or the services they take, which means that if you, innate in the word consumer or client is a bit, that concept is that people are there to give you service or help, and so you can choose. I mean, you're not forced really to go only into one thing. If you don't like it, you certainly have if it's not helpful, you have to speak up, you have to tell people what's going on, and you have the option of looking around the different models of care. Obviously that's easier said than done because there are financial considerations and money restrictions, but even then you can find ways where there are other alternatives of care that might be available to you. But the main message is don't accept treatment or advice that you don't agree with. I mean, just be in charge of your trust yourself. If it doesn't feel good, then go look somewhere else.